State Senator John Schickel of Union spoke in favor of the bill ahead of the floor vote.
We have a problem in Northern Kentucky, a serious problem. And I think it's important to realize when you have the Kentucky sheriffs, the FOP, the Commonwealth attorneys, and the school administrators I know all supporting this.
If passed, anyone 15 years or older charged with certain felonies would automatically be transferred to adult court if 3 conditions are met. The crime must be a Class A, B, or C felony. Now, those include homicide, human trafficking, robbery, and sexual offenses. A gun was used, whether it was fired or not. For example, putting it to a victim's head but not pulling the trigger. And lastly, the teen was at least 15 when it happened.
The public has lost faith that justice is being served with these serious juvenile crimes. And that's why I am so glad to see this legislation, though it is not perfect, and plan on supporting it.
The bill says the prosecutor can decide to return the case to juvenile court if they feel it's in the best interest of the teen and the community. But Senator Whitney Westerfeld says he doesn't think that'll ever happen.
His own prosecutor testified in committee that that's only happened in the last 12 years he's been on the job as a Commonwealth attorney twice. Let me tell you, having been a prosecutor myself, that doesn't happen.
Westerfield goes on to say the bill takes the decision-making out of the hands of the judges elected to make those rulings.
If those 3 things are met, it doesn't matter the child has no prior history. It doesn't matter that they have an intellectual disability. It doesn't matter what the best interest of the child or the community is.
Now, the bill's passed the Senate mostly along party lines and is now being considered by the House. Now, any changes would need to be reconciled between the 2 chambers. You do have to wonder, though, if the bill does pass, if Governor Andy Beshear will sign it. After all, he signed the legislation giving judges back that discretion when it comes to automatically moving cases to adult court. And you'd have to think that he'd be against undoing that just a few years later. Paula, back to you.
Thank you, Christian. A teen convicted as an adult would receive the same sentence as an adult offender. However, they would be locked up in juvenile detention until they turned 18. At that point, they would head back to court for new sentencing proceedings.
You can always find our stories here on YouTube, but go ahead and tap subscribe. That way you're always in the know.